But let's go and see how Twitter reacted to the win yesterday.
Twitter's reacting to all sorts of things, but mostly the Tottenham win. Let's bring it up. First one, let's react to, which I think I'll be good to react to. You know, Twitter account has the referee or VAR made a poor decision today, and they were responding to the offside from Martinelli. And they said, no, Cucurella kept Martinelli offside, but I don't understand how it took them 4 minutes to figure that out. And clear and obvious doesn't matter when it comes when it comes down to offsides. Obviously, Arsenal felt very hard done by with the offside. But what did you think of it? Did you think it was one of those where if they gave the goal initially and then VAR ruled it out? There didn't seem a very definitive camera angle. It's a goal for West Ham. It's a goal for Brentford.
Come on, 2-0 to Brentford.
2-0 to Brentford.
West Ham get battered.
Exactly. But do you think when in cases like yesterday where VAR, there didn't seem to be a definitive angle, but from the evidence that VAR showed, it did seem offside. So what do you think?
What was the evidence? Because, I mean, you had Dunk and you had Martinelli and the goalkeeper blocking Cucurella at all times and from any angle. You just couldn't see it.
Correct. They showed a picture. If you there's a picture here. If you scroll down on that tweet, on the replies. This one. Yeah, it shows there's a picture showing, not that one. From he replied to his own tweet. That guy.
This one.
No. Whatever. I'm showing it on screen. But as you see, he replied to his own tweet. They used that camera angle to see where Cucurella was. Yeah. And you can see maybe with his feet there, his feet still quite a distance from the goal line, whereas Martinelli, his feet are a lot closer to the goal line. So I think they use that as a judgment to say that from the best evidence we have, he is offside.
Yeah, I think if the evidence is inconclusive like that, I think that you should be probably giving the goal, to be honest, and giving the benefit of the doubt. Personally.
So you think Arsenal are hard done by?
A little bit, yeah.
Who cares?
I don't care. What do you think?
I think it was offside. I think.
How can you tell though?
I think from the evidence they showed, I think that there's enough evidence to suggest that Cucurella wasn't as close to the goal line as Martinelli was.
It's impossible to tell. It's literally impossible.
It's difficult, but that's the best. That's the best we have.
They need to have angles from both sides. I don't understand why they don't.
They need to have angles from both sides. Yeah,
like a camera on that end and a camera on this
I don't know why they don't either.
It
doesn't make sense. They've got billions and billions of pounds.
Yeah,
and they don't. Next up, Nathan Clark says, quite simply, since Conte came in, Spurs have comfortably been the third best team in the league, and he's basing that on our expected points is comfortably third highest since Conte's come in.
And comfortably 5 points. Yeah,
that's pretty comfortable.
Yeah. I'd like to be more than 5 points better off than Arsenal, though.
Of course, but and also above Chelsea as well by about five expected points. But that's positive.
But also, they have one game less played, but it is against each other.
Exactly, so they both can't win. XG, look at that. We're about 10 goals better than Arsenal.
That's mad.
And Chelsea, which is very impressive. Expected goals against, though, we're slightly higher than Arsenal and Chelsea.
But you would take that with a 10-goal higher XG.
Yeah, of course, 100%. Troy Parrott.
Oh, what a goal that was!
What a volley this was!
The man is on fire at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. This is it's not the best view of the volley, but if you slow it,
the limbs though,
you can slow it down. He's got the back post there. It's lining up. Oh, what a strike that is! Right into the roof of the net. Brilliant finish. He's on fire, isn't he? Obviously really scored for Ireland, scored that lob not far along, and now he's got this goal.
Yeah, that's 3 goals in his last 3 games.
So brilliant stuff for Troy Parrott. Good on him. Tottenham Hotspur saying, what a half from Hugo Lloris. Incredible.
The thing is with Hugo as well, it wasn't just the saves, but the way he was coming for the crosses and stuff like that as well. I mean, seemed to have glue on his gloves a bit.
Yeah, he was claiming a lot, wasn't he? claiming a lot of crosses. Premier League panel says Spurs struggling to pick up Coutinho Ramsey's movement in between the lines with Bentancur or Højbjerg pivot. This is where Skip is very good. He's the best Spurs midfielder defensively in that sense. In his absence, a 3-5-2 switch and using midfield three may be Conte's move. Obviously, it wasn't in the end. He just decided to go direct. But do you think we missed Skip yesterday in that first half?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think Coutinho was running us a bit ragged yesterday in that first half. I think that once we started thinking over the top, it worked in our favour. But yesterday could have been a potential of a 3-5-2 if we had the options.
All right, next one. Dan Kilpatrick says Matt Doherty gingerly walking out of Villa Park with a brace on his right knee. So that's not very good news, is it?
Touch wood, he'll be all right.
Yeah, let's hope that Matt Doherty will be okay for the remainder of the season. Obviously, it's not very good news that he had to go off early due to injury. But let's just hope he's all right. Not good news he was in a brace, though. I think this is since Kulusevski has started games for Tottenham. He's got 3 goals and 6 assists. Kane has 8 goals and 7 assists, and Son has 9 goals and 4 assists. Unbelievable stats.
That is what you call a front three.
Yeah, incredible.
And they were talking on Sky Sports yesterday. Obviously, you were at the game, so you wouldn't have heard it. They were saying, "Is this now the best front three in the Premier League?"
I think form-wise, 100% it is. Is it quality-wise? You have to say that. Kane and Son probably get into any team. So it's whether how good do we rate Kulusevski? That's the question, I guess.
I think the way he's come into the Premier League at this age, he's only going to get better as well.
Yeah.
He's literally only going to get better. And that's the scary thing about it, because already he's done more probably, hat-trick in Amsterdam aside, he's done probably more in Lucas's whole career than what Kulu's done since January.
Yeah, probably. Bardi says Romero is the best defender I've seen in my lifetime at Spurs.
Where was he when Ledley King was around?
He's saying he's better than Ledley King. Romero, man, he's just. I don't think it was the most impressive game yesterday. Not that he did anything bad, but again, I thought he had another strong showing.
I think that in the second half he showed how good he can be playing it out from the back. Those little dinks into the midfield into Harry Kane pretty much won us the game yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. I think defensively well in the second half he was great. No Context Tottenham tweeted out Paul Merson has warned new Tottenham manager Antonio Conte has no chance of taking Spurs back into the Champions League. I guess this was back when he was appointed. Merson, as usual, getting things wrong. We
should create a no contact Merson account.
Honestly, everything he says is wrong all the time.
Literally everything
he says is always wrong. Duncan Alexander says Spurs have now scored more Premier League goals this season under Conte, who was appointed in November, than Arsenal have under Arteta.
Oh yeah, I saw this one last night. I thought that's actually mind blowing.
Yeah, we scored more goals since November than Arsenal have the whole season.
Mad.
Trust the process.
Exactly. Keep trusting it, Gooners.
Jonathan Ville says, I asked Gerrard if Tottenham's front three is the best in the league at the minute. He said certainly high-level players. 2 of them are world-class, and Kulusevski potentially top-level player. Exactly what you were saying yesterday. Sorry, just before. Højbjerg on Instagram showing 2 ice packs on both knees. He was definitely in the wars yesterday, wasn't he, Højbjerg? Yeah. He spent a bit of time down on the ground and got the scars to show it.
Højbjerg needs massive props. Massive props, because ever since Bentancur's come in alongside him, I think he stepped it up a notch this season, because he wasn't having the best season, let's be honest, before Bentancur came in. And I think since he's come in, he's actually this is his best run of his Spurs career.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's been fantastic. Sergio Reguilon, proud of the team. This is the way. 7 finals ahead of Vamos.
Vamos!
And that's him with celebrating with Heung-min Son. Some great pictures, and I don't know if you've seen there's this compilation of Reguilon copying everyone's celebrations whenever they score. It's brilliant. Yeah, I think I might have liked it. It might come up.
That, though. He always
just copies it. He always just copies everyone's celebration. It's absolutely brilliant. There's another that's Spurs tweeting out as well. Fantastic stuff. Son taking home the match ball. Things you love to see. Look at that. Absolutely great stuff. Him hugging Paratici. Good stuff.
I just love Son so much. I just love him so much. I mean, I was just watching his celebrations yesterday, and I was just like watching him with such a smile on my face. He's just such a good player, and he's such like his smile is so infectious as well.
Yeah, I know. You can't help but smile when you see him smiling. Julie, I think Jay Julie, who's a Juve fan, says Kulusevski 8 goals and assists since joining Tottenham in January. Vlahovic 6 goals and assists since joining Juventus in January. Bit of a comparison there, but he's having more of an impact than Vlahovic at the moment. Who would have thought that?
It's mad. He's not just Vlahovic, but also what's his name from Liverpool as well, Diaz.
Yeah, Diaz. Much more of an impact than Diaz so far in terms of goals and assists anyway.
And we signed Kulusevski in replacement of Diaz.
That's right, we did. Yeah, Diaz was first on our list. LG882 says, here's my theory why we're much better in the second half. Conte's tactical genius, but he's still learning how teams play. Tottenham, once he sees it in the first half, he dismantles them in the second. Next season, this guy will have us challenging for the title if Levy backs him.
Wow. I mean, I get what he's saying, because like we are battering teams at the moment. We've shown how we can stand up to the top teams as well in terms of Liverpool and Man City when we do play them. But can we actually challenge the title? Can we actually challenge Man City and Liverpool?
It's going to be very, very difficult to breach that gap over one summer. It's probably going to be insurmountable to breach that gap. But you never know. He's done it before.
He has done it before.
You wouldn't have, you might not have thought that after Inter one season, because Juventus had won it every year, hadn't they? But they dropped off massively, didn't they, in that other season? And
can you see
Liverpool needs Liverpool and City to drop off?
Is Liverpool or City or both of them going to drop off next season?
Unlikely. Doesn't seem it, but you never know. Maybe
they have with the players that they have.
Maybe if Salah leaves, I don't know. Who knows? Fabio Paratici signing Kulusevski to play with Son and Kane. Here it is, yeah. There's adding Kulusevski. There's Son and Kane in the pot. Brilliant stuff. He was definitely cooking, Paratici, 100%. And
has he earned his Don status for you yet?
For me, I mean, these signings, if we get top 4, man, which is looking ever more likely as the weeks pass, I think so. Because no one would have expected that. Even in November when the Conte was appointed. Jermaine Genus says, and with the Antonio tune, and he says, give that man whatever he wants, please. Genus is fully on the Conte bandwagon.
Who isn't?
That's for sure.
Who isn't?
Only a fool wouldn't be at this stage.
Exactly.
Tottenham's last 4 games, scored 14, conceded twice. Kane with 1 goal and 7 assists, Son with 6 goals and 1 assist, and Kulusevski 1 goal and 3 assists. What a trio!
Dynamite.
They're getting the right praise at the moment. Well, yeah, that front three, man. They're getting it's being very hard to stop them. Noz Ahmed says Conte is having a Spurs play like this with only 2 signings. Imagine him with his own team. I'm about to pass out. Love it.
I mean. It's just mental to think like we've got Antonio Conte as our manager. We're suddenly starting to blow teams away and play like an Antonio Conte side. And this is with the same players which we all said are nowhere near good enough.
Correct. And I still believe a lot of them are, but I think he's just finding another level at the moment. I think he's finding another level with them. Oliver Young Miles says, since Kulusevski started his first Premier game against City, Spurs' front 3 have scored more goals than any other Premier League team. They're generally starting to look like the best attacking trio in the league since peak Salah, Mane, Firmino.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with that. I really can't. Because they've all got their own attributes and they're all like...
They all complement each other.
They all complement each other and they're all so good at what they do as well. And Harry Kane, I mean, he's just like the glue between it all. I mean, he's just getting better and better as well.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. Opta Joe says, Son has scored 34 goals with his left foot in the Premier League. The only right-footed player with more left-footed goals in the competition is Harry Kane.
Wow.
There you go. So that's another thing as well. They probably don't get enough credit for 2 of the most ambidextrous forwards in the league. Which is something definitely underrated.
What I find really weird is these Arsenal fans that keep coming out being like, oh, if you didn't have Harry Kane and if you didn't have Heung-min Son, you'd be an average side. If you didn't have this, you didn't have that, you'd be an average side. But the fact of the matter is we do have them.
If they didn't have Saka and they didn't have Partey, they would be bottom half. What do you want?
I don't get this whole narrative what Arsenal fans are talking about.
Let them
like,
say it.
if you
Doesn't
didn't have
matter.
it- if you
It
didn't have
makes
that,
no
you'd be
sense.
Rubbish. Like they're just so salty at the moment.
Doesn't matter. They're part of our team.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't make a difference if we didn't do this. If you didn't have Partey and Saka, you'd be bottom
I
half.
was gonna
So
say, if you didn't have Tavares, you wouldn't be so shit.
exactly, whatever, doesn't matter. Trevor Lloyd says, despite a hat trick by Son, Lloris is my man in the match. Crazy, I know, but we would have been 3 or 4 down if it wasn't for Hugo. Hard to disagree.
Yeah. Spot on that.
Piers Morgan. Just saying pathetic.
I put that one in.
You
there
won. I
last
was about to say, I don't remember liking this one, but I didn't see it. Brilliant stuff. Pathetic. I can just imagine Piers Morgan saying it. Brilliant.
I had to put that in there last time. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, I think West Ham. Oh, I thought it was about to be 3-0, wasn't. Non-penalty goals in the Premier League this season. Son on 17, Salah on 15, Jota 14, Mane 12, Kane, Ronaldo, De Bruyne, Vardy on 10. So Son leads the way for non-penalty goals. If Son took penalties, he might even be top right now.
He'll be 20. You said we had 3 penalties
Yeah,
this season.
so there you go. Unbelievable stuff there from Sonny. Unfortunately for him, he's not a penalty taker, but I mean that goes to show how good he is right now,
Yeah, absolutely. And
or how good he is in general. I mean,
and it shows how like the way we were speaking about Son, about a few weeks ago and stuff like that, saying he's not on the best of form. He's having his best season as Spurs shirt.
yeah, I mean last season he got 17 goals, and so this season he's already on 17. He'll blitz that. He'll get 20 easy.
Do you think a lot of people owe Son a bit of an apology?
Anyone who just called for him to be dropped does, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think if you want to say you don't think he's playing his best football right now, that's fair enough. But I think if you thought he should have been dropped, then there you go.
But the numbers, best season ever in a Spurs shirt.
Anyone who says he's having an average season doesn't know what they're talking about. He's clearly having a brilliant season.
Yeah.
Here's another
If
one.
he finishes on Golden Boot this year, is there a shout for him for Player of the Year?
Player of the year. Well, if he finishes more on the, I guess if
He wouldn't even get Tottenham Players of the
No,
Year.
I know. Well, if Salah wins the league, then it's hard to look past him. But he has been off the boil. So,
But if we get top
and I know
4,
recency bias is very strong in these Player of the Year awards when the votes come in. Recency bias is very strong. So I guess he would have a shout. He'd have to be nominated at least because he's getting a lot of assists.
do you
as
think
well.
he can get Tottenham's Player of the Year if he finishes Golden
Yeah,
Boot?
I do because you got to take the first 19 games into account, don't you,
Yeah.
when you're assessing Kane?
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone's been more consistent than Son. Maybe Dyer.
I think right now, if I'm going to rate for Player of the Year, I'll probably give it to Son or Dyer. But I'll probably give it to Son.
Yeah, you have to say so. He's been brilliant. Who scored, say, Kulusevski has more goal involvements than Gabriel Martinelli this season, even though he only made his first start in February. Very impressive as well.
And everyone's waxing lyrical about Martinelli as well.
Mate, I think Kulusevski deserves more credit for how young he is and how good he's adapted, man. I think if he was English, he would be the talk of the town and everyone, all
Absolutely.
the papers we talking about him. I think
Absolutely.
he's definitely gone under the radar in terms of mainstream. I think Tottenham fans recognise it, but I think in terms of mainstream, credit, I think he's definitely still going under the radar.
Like,
how good he's been.
If we had an Arsenal fan sitting here right now and I said to them Kulusevski's better than Saka, they'll laugh me out the room.
They'll look at you like you're crazy,
Yeah,
but
they'll
you
look at
shouldn't.
me like I'm absolutely crazy.
But why wouldn't he be right now? There's no he's got more assists than Saka now this season after yesterday. There's a dance
love these
after the game between Emerson, Højbjerg and Son, and brilliant stuff. Love it.
Is the team bonding now kind of on a par of what we had it at the prime Pochettino?
It's hard to say it's on a par, but it looks like it, doesn't it? It definitely looks like everyone's together. There definitely doesn't seem to be fractures like they were. Even cast your mind back to a year ago when we played Zagreb. Lloris calling out the whole group and everything. It's very different, even against
a year ago, 6 months ago, 3
under
months
Nuno.
ago.
It seemed very fractured. But
Even Lloris this season has come out and said, players not pulling their weight and all this kind of stuff.
But now, everyone seems to be on the same page.
You can't tell me one player in this squad right now that's not pulling their weight.
Everyone is. Everyone's doing their best they can. And I think that's all down to Conte. There's Son with a few words. We're not going to listen to everything he has to say. But most goal involvements since February 19th, which is Kulusevski's first start. Look at that. They're the top three in the Premier League total. The top three is Kane, Son and Kulusevski. And then it's Havertz, Tony, Salah, Mount, and then Doherty following up there right at the bottom as well with 5. So Tottenham really are racking up the goals.
Unbelievable.
Tottenham fans yesterday. Man United 1-0, great. Arsenal losing 2-1, and then Spurs, nothing but smiles.
It was literally the perfect day yesterday.
It was.
I was on Friday night. I was like, I cannot wait for tomorrow. For breakfast, we've got Everton to beat Man United. For lunch, we've got Brighton to beat Arsenal. And for dinner, to top it all off, we're going to have Tottenham to give Aston Villa a battering, and that's exactly how it panned out. It was the most perfect day.
It was. Couldn't have been more perfect, could it? An Arsenal fan, Welby, says, I give up. Top 4 is gone. My heart is shattered. Falling out of love with football again. Thank you. All the Arsenal fans are crumbling. Absolutely brilliant. That's what's on. There's Iggy on Iggy. On the fan show yesterday.
Brilliant call yesterday,
Lovely
Iggy. I
stuff.
loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Absolutely.
And he's right. Stell has been rattling a lot of Arsenal feathers since last night.
Has he?
Yeah.
He's going to have to wear an Arsenal shirt soon, isn't he?
I know. I
things to
messaged
go.
him that last night, and he was like, "Is it the end of the season yet?"
I see. He's still clinging on.
What are you talking about?
Fair enough. Al Conte Football says, what a finish. Take a bow, Kulusevski. That was a tweet from Tottenham. And then Billy T said, he's not finished, he's Swedish. And then Tottenham said, he's not finished, he's only 21.
I was cracking up at that. The admin's got some banter.
Talk Sport call from a while ago. Great stuff. Yeah, brilliant. Slav, big up to Slav. He says, Højbjerg stepped up last few weeks, big time.
Yeah.
Can't disagree with that.
Absolutely.
Brian Daigle on the Twitter. He's added expressions. Oh, what's that for?
Yeah, he's singing that Expressions Heung-min song.
What's going on here? Why is this tweet stuck there? I don't know what's happened here. It's weird. Sorry, I don't know.
What's going on over there?
No, it's gone funny. It's weird. Can I click on it? I can't do it. I don't know. If I click on something, nope. All right. My it's all
Never
bugged
seen
out.
that before,
That's bugged
ever.
out. All right, weird. But anyway, since Conte's arrival, yeah, we've mentioned that the XG, our chance creation is just better. John Muller says Tottenham have entered January a little behind Arsenal in the top 4 race. One team signed 2 good players, the other gave one away. You think that's just the difference? Simple as that?
I don't think it's as simple as that. I think that it's that we've got players like Kane and Son as well, where they don't have a striker pretty much. And also we've got a world-class manager and they've got a rookie as a manager. So I think there's many differences between the two clubs right now, but I think that is definitely one of them that is mentioned.
Yeah, I agree with that. Spurs Web says, how Tyrone Mings gets into the England squad ahead of Eric Dyer is a travesty.
And I was saying this...
He was awful yesterday, Mings, I thought.
He was. And I was saying this when the squads got announced for the last international break. I was like, how the hell is Mings still getting called up and Dyer doesn't get a mention?
He got sat down for dinner for that goal for Kulusevski. Unbelievable, I thought. He didn't know what to do. Look at that from Son from Squawk yesterday. 100% shot accuracy, 100% conversion rate, 100% take on success, 100% tackle success, 3 goals, 3 shots, 3 goals. The perfect display.
Oh, and the finishes were just to die for, man.
They were. Could watch
They
those
were
finishes
to
all
die
day
for.
long.
I mean,
Brilliant.
they were pinpoint, absolutely spot on. Best finishing I've seen for ages.
That's good stuff. The referee reacting to Emerson and Son with their celebration.
He's like, what the hell are you doing?
He's like, what? He's like, you're grown men, mate. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, Son's always going to be a child at heart, isn't he?
It looks like he's about to give the yellow card or something.
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing? What are you lads doing? Not sure about that, mate. Frank Major with interesting says Daniel Levy deserves massive credit for getting Conte, taking a huge financial hit on the outgoing players in January and backing Conte with 2 new signings. I've been very vocal in my criticism of him, but we can't not credit him when he does things right.
Yeah, and I think that we had reservations about the transfer window, didn't we? Mm-hmm. We didn't bring enough in. We thought we left too many holes in the squad in terms of the wing backs. But also when Antonio Conte came in, we also said that what Antonio Conte does, he makes average players look a lot better than they are, and that's exactly what he's doing. So maybe we were a bit too harsh on the transfer window because we didn't take into account Conte maybe improving the players that we already had.
We also didn't take into account that the fact, we didn't get everything we wanted, but at least we got 2 players, and Arsenal and Man United didn't sign anyone, did they?
The fact of the matter is, after the transfer window, straight after that, we looked out on our legs a bit.
Yeah.
Because we sold 4 players, we got rid of 4 players, and we only brought 2 in, and we looked very weak in the middle of the park. And still now, if Højbjerg or Bentancur get injured, it can be very risky going into the end of the season.
I agree. So I agree with that. So we are a bit short, but as I was saying,
like right now it's working. Right now it looks great, but a few injuries, and we're going to start looking at that January transfer window again.
Yeah, but when you're comparing us to our rivals, we added and they didn't.
Yeah.
So that maybe we didn't, didn't take into account enough. Andrew Gow says non-penalty goals from the last 2 seasons: Son 33 in 65, Salah 31 in 65.
Wow.
Son is outscoring Salah right now.
That's mental.
Considering how well Salah started his season as well.
That's mental. Well, Salah's been at the top of his game for the last 3-4 years for Liverpool.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much ever since he came, to be honest. Zen tweeted us with a beer, and I think his son's looking like he wants a bit of that beer, doesn't he? Tried to grab it. I hope he kept it away from him. That was, I think, a well-timed shot. All the Spurs boys on the coach with the match ball. Very good stuff. There's Galini and Rodon getting involved. They're looking happy. So that's
Galini
good for them.
and Rodon are just like mascots at the moment.
At the moment, yeah, they're not really getting involved too much in the playing time. But look, we're playing so well. How can they? Marcelo, big up Marcelo, he says, regardless of where we get top 4, Conte has shown that he is the man to back and fully get on board with. He is out of this world good.
Absolutely.
Completely agree. Seb Stafford Blur says, was that a hopeful punt for Tottenham's first? Think it would look more like a well-designed percentage ball with Son challenging. He's just talking about the plans to go direct more in the second half. Rob Daly says Burnley won Spurs 0 was 45 days ago. That's mad. Less than 2 months ago, that game, and how much has changed.
Yeah, but that's when it all started. The game before that was City, wasn't it?
Yeah. City,
that was like the birth of our good form. I mean, at the end of the day, right, I know Burnley went on shocking form after that, but anyone can go to Burnley and have a result like that.
Yeah. Oh, well, right now, Norwich beating Burnley 2-0.
Wow. As I say that. But you know what I mean. Yeah, it's a hard place to go.
As I said, they've taken points off West Ham. They've taken points off Arsenal. They've taken points off Man United. So we're not the only team they've taken points off. But yeah. George Bannister says, what's difficult to comprehend for us Spurs fans is the complete turnaround from being embarrassingly awful to actually looking world-class at times in the same season. We'll always talk ourselves down, but we've been superb to watch. Credit to the lads and Antonio. Final push.
Absolutely.
And how we've got ourselves in this position, is difficult for us to get our head around, but look, we've done it. And that's the main thing.
The definition of Jekyll and Hyde, literally, this season for Spurs.
Yeah, unbelievable. Charlie Eccleshare says, how you mocked 6 wins out of 7 for Tottenham in the Premier League since this tweet. And yes, I'm a very small person. This won't be the last time. He said, after we lost to Burnley, I still think Tottenham will get top 4. He says, I'm massively disappointed that Burnley have taken points of all these other teams. So look, he stuck to his guns and seems to be paying off right now.
You're a bigger man than me, Charlie, because after that game against Burnley, we were all just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
After that outburst from Conte, is Conte going? Is he staying? How the hell are we going to get top? We're nowhere near top 4. You know what I mean? All this kind of stuff. And even like after a few wins after that, I was like, we're not going to keep it up. We're going to lose, win, lose, win, lose, win. Proof's in the pudding at the moment.
Definitely. Dan Kilpatrick as well says Spurs put themselves firmly in the driving seat for 4th. They rode their luck with the first half as against Newcastle, but were brilliant after the break. They moved 3 points clear last half, all the momentum going into the top 4 race.
Yep.
BR Football says Spurs solidify their spot in the top 4, while Arsenal and Man United both lose. Spurs fans right now. Great picture. Love it. And then there's a bunch of salty gooners, which I've liked, which is good.
Let's go through a few salty gooners.
Gunner Blog says advantage Spurs in the... I unliked it by accident.
Yeah,
and it's gone.
Advantage Spurs in the top 4, undoubtedly. I don't wish to be alarmist, but think it's essential that Arteta immediately finds a way to stabilise this team and make it work without without absentees. A top 6 place is utterly essential, and a bad run now puts that in jeopardy.
Are they? They're not. Are they in danger of dropping out the top 6 right now? The way things are going?
Of course they are. Of course they are. They're only 3 points above West Ham and Man United.
If any of them have a good run of form, you never know.
The lucky thing that they got about them, though, is Man United seem to have fallen off a cliff and got very hard fixtures, and West Ham are more concentrated on this Europa League campaign.
Yeah, they're losing at home to Brighton.
Yeah.
Difficult. Squawk says Brighton's previous 7 games before playing at the Emirates: lose, draw, scored 1, conceded 13, 1 clean sheet. Full-time result: Arsenal 1, Brighton 2.
Arteta, hold my beer.
Brilliant stuff. Sam Dean says Graham Potter on Arsenal is probably the curse of the Manager of the Month award. I'll make sure I'll never get one of them. And we've said that, didn't we? Bloody Manager of the Month award. And it really has turned out to be a curse.
Nuno got it, lost 3-0 to Palace, and then went on a losing run. Arteta got it, lost 3-0 to Palace, and going on a losing run.
Exactly. Unbelievable. Yeah, it really is turning out to be a curse. Jonathan Ville says, what I liked most was how Conte put more on the on at the end to remind us how it used to be. Brilliant stuff. This guy, Wenger_3, says Conte took half a season and 1 window to take 8th place Spurs to potentially 4th. Arteta has taken Arsenal from 5th to 8th to 8th to maybe 5th or 6th, despite multiple windows, and 250 million spent. Trust the process, though.
Absolutely. It's actually mad to think about how much money Arsenal have actually spent under Arteta.
Yeah, they spent a lot of money, and they're bigger spenders in the summer, but hasn't quite worked out as well. No, hard to say it hasn't worked out, but right now it seems to be falling apart.
Yeah, but if they finish 6th or 7th this year, can you really say it's worked out? How many 8th place finish and 7th place
Probably
finish?
not, because when Arteta took over, if you would have told them it'll take you 3 years to even get top 4, no one was going to accept that, are they?
Emre was on the brink of a top 4 finish.
He was. He got to a final as well, a UEFA Cup final, so Europa League final. So, he actually probably didn't do too much of a bad job when you think about it. Hugo Lloris with an outstanding save. Yeah, that was a save from Ramsey. Brilliant one-handed save. Look, the reactions on that to tip that over the bar. Very, very impressive from Hugo Lloris. And that is that. I think, has anyone tagged us in anything?
It's showing you the actual Troy Parrott goal at the top there.
Yeah, here we are. So here's a better view of Parrott's goal. Swung to the back post. Oh, what a volley!
That's Harry Kane-esque, isn't it?
What a volley! The technique
is that not
on
Harry
that.
Kane-esque?
The technique on that man to smash that home. That is brilliant.
He is playing with some confidence at the moment, isn't he?
He is. That's a great finish. But that is it for now, I think.
All right. So thank you everyone for joining the Twitter Reacts.